fans, do you want to win your share of $100,000? Simply enter the houseofboxing.com Fight Night Prediction Challenge. Compete with boxing fans around the world. Simply head over to houseofboxing.com and sign up now.
Matt Lenihan, Boxing Social, in association with Empire Fight Store and houseofboxing.com. Been joined by IBF World Champion Ebanie Bridges. Ebanie, I feel like it's been a while since we've had a proper sit down. It's normally press conference or GBM shows at the minute. It's been a while. Look, how's things been?
Yeah, really good. Obviously, I finally have a fight not locked in. As you know, through the frustration of many interviews, that I was really frustrated that I couldn't get a fight locked in. So I'm just glad that I know I'm fighting. I got a date and I got an opponent, and we're 5 weeks out now.
Well, look, ever since we've been talking, you've always had this sort of checklist of things you wanted to do. One of them was America. I remember when you first came on the scene, you had interviews with other outlets, some of the bigger names out there, of your Fight Hypes, Fight Hubs, and you gained a lot of traction. How pleased are you to be going over there so you can sort of showcase your skills to your sort of pocket of American fans you've got? 'Cause you've got a lot of people out there rooting for you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm super excited to be able to fight on in America again, but also like now on a huge platform like DAZN, Matchroom, and obviously on the Devin Haney Prograis Undercard, which is epic, you know.
Fight as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I think, I'm really, really excited about it. And yeah, like you said, I know I have good fans out there, so I think it's going to be really good for me. And just that American, that American vibe.
You've been out the ring for so long. I feel like when you're starting to gain momentum, something happens. I know you were nursing injuries and things like that, but are you sort of, is this like one of them fights where you're like, look, I'm absolutely raring to go, firing on all cylinders, just because of that time out you've had when you gain, you got the belt, you then went and you had that sort of rivalry grudge match, you put that to bed in impressive fashion. And now you had that long period out. Is there going to be a lot of frustration comes out in this fight?
I don't know. I don't think so. Because I feel like I'm pretty control of my emotions when it comes into a fight. Even my last fight, I did save all that emotion for the fight. Obviously there was parts when I heard her that I just wanted to kill her. You know what I mean? And so I did get a bit overzealous, which is obviously fine. But I think, this fight will be a bit more calm. Obviously the girl I'm fighting does not make a grudge. We're actually friends. But it's going to be a great fight. And obviously training with Dave, I'm going to be able to show a lot of this new stuff that I've been working on.
Well, look, Avril Mathie, there's sort of, when you look at that fight, the first thing that people started saying was, "Wow, this Wayne will break a lot of numbers." And you were the first one to say, "Look, we'll break the internet with this." Fellow Aussie, decent record. I think she only had one loss to Ramla Ali. What do you make of her? Person you mentioned their friend, but as a fighter, what do you make of her?
Yeah, she's quite conventional. I think she's got she's obviously, I think she's like 5'8" or something like that. So she's mega tall. She's got a great jab. Like I said, she's basic but good at the basics. She went up to weight division to fight Ramla Ali, and that was actually a really competitive fight. Obviously each round, I think she won some middle rounds, but I think Ramla obviously just edged the rounds. But it was a very competitive fight. She's mega tough. I would like to say that I'll be the first one to stop her, or that I could stop her. But I do just know that she's tough. She's been in some wars. She's been in some big fights, and as in big hard fights. Mm-hmm. She's come through a lot of adversity in her fights. So I'm not banking on a stoppage, but I feel like if anyone can, it would be me. But she's Aussie, and we're tough.
No, 100%. But look, I'm speaking to all the other girls who do spar you. I think it was Chantal Cameron. I can't remember how long ago, and she says, "Look, she can whack." Yeah. Like when she speaks about yourself, she's like, "Look, that girl can really throw." Yeah. You want to make a statement out there, in America, and be like, "Look, bright lights are here. Terrific main event, by the way, Haney Prograis," and you can then put your mark on it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm not here to prove anything, because I don't have to prove too much. But it's just no matter what I do, there's always going to be doubters, isn't it? But I think I like to say every time I do big statements like that last stopping that Shannon O'Connell, Like, that was huge. Like, I know in the UK you don't really know much about Shannon, but she's like been the queen of boxing in Australia for 15 years, and she has so many fans, and there was so many people just writing me off, including her, and like everyone, not everyone, but most people in Australia, because of her presence in Australia, just writing me off. So for me, being able to do that to her was a huge statement, and to be able to go into this fight and obviously come up with another good knockout statement would be good, because, you know, she went up to fight Ramla. It was competitive, you know, but it wasn't like she really hurt her, or it wasn't like that kind of, you know, fight where, we know with my style I'm aggressive and I'm strong, and that's exciting. And so I just want to show that, you know, I am exciting, and that I can, you know, stop these girls. And obviously the weigh-in, sorry, I just want to say, you mentioned the weigh-in. It's a very similar thing to me and like Shannon Courtenay. I'm going about it the same way as anyways. It's just, we're going to get more eyes in the sport. We're going to get people going to tune in to watch me and Avril, you know, because they're going to see the weigh-ins, and because she's pretty as well, and she's a model, and she does, you know, fans and stuff. People are going to be curious, and they're going to want to see if she can fight, or they're going to want to see if how two of us fight together. And I just know that's going to bring eyes in the sport. And I also know that we're both tough and we both come to fight. So it's going to be a great fight, just like, you know, me and Courtney.
You mentioned at the start of that, I want to pick up on it, you know, about doubters and things like that. Do you know, I think a little bit you sort of past that stage now. Obviously, everyone will have their opinion on these unification fights, you know, people with other belts and things like that. But do you really think now people still sort of, you know, doubt you in your ability? I mean, you started boxing late, you made a lot of strides, you took the Courtney fight on, you know, however many weeks' notice kind of thing, came over and... there's that old expression that people use with the Ngannou fight. You lost the fight, but you almost you sort of won the next. People were like, you know what, this girl can fight. Do you not think you sort of past that stage now where people have got a little bit of doubt about you?
Yes and no. I think it's more like, no matter what, people are going to dismiss you. You know, and you're not going to be able to kind of change their mind. So, you know, I've got haters, and no matter what I do, they're gonna hate, and they're gonna not support my boxing, and they're gonna talk shit. But I think when I keep making statements, it keeps just throwing that fucking salt in their eyes. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, even though it won't ever like prove them nothing, because they've already made their mind up, they got to burn. You know, the haters, they got to burn when I win, and I keep being successful, because that's what burns them. And so, like, me being successful and doing statements like that, it's more of a throw the salt in that.
Does that help you? Do you know, like, everyone likes, I suppose, in a way, to be liked. It's nice to have people go, you know what, you're amazing, you're doing so well, this, that, and the other. But, you know, a hater can, you know, add fuel to the fire. Does that, like, for instance, you mentioned the O'Connell fight. I knew, people in boxing knew she had a lot of support from Australian boxing, and people like, she's the traditional boxer, and we're getting, there were, you know, a lot of people in certain quarters were getting on your back for it. But that sort of edge, does that help you a little bit? Does that drive you a bit? Because it's proving people wrong, kind of thing.
To be honest, not really.
No,
it doesn't. No, I don't train, and I don't train like hard, and I don't go in there to win for anyone else or to prove anyone. To be honest, I don't. That's not my motivation. My motivation is just wanting to be my best and wanting to be the best and wanting to win. That's enough drive for me. But when I do win, that's when it's like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like, but it's not actually a motivation for my training or for my fight or for the win. It doesn't motivate me. I don't sit there and think, oh, I can't wait to prove these guys wrong. I don't at all. It's totally intrinsic for me. It's got nothing to do with people outside. But when I do win, it's definitely a great feeling. Just to, have that win, be like, yeah.
Well, look, we mentioned we touched on it off camera. You've always said, look, I started late, 37 years of age, but I still feel, no, but you mentioned it, Sam. There was a reason. I am going somewhere on this trail of breadcrumbs here. I still feel like, when fighters get to a certain point, we start seeing the best. I feel like we've still not seen the best of you from clips that I've seen over the years, things that you've sent through, and we see little glimpses in the fights, depending on obviously what the opponent's bringing. But do you feel like even at this stage that I've still got so much to show? Because I feel like you've got another however much percent and gears to go through.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like, the reality is, I've only been boxing, coming out 7 years. Honestly, but remember, it's only 4 of those as a professional. Had 2 years, 2.5 years as an amateur, so I'm still a bit of a baby in the sport. I'm fighting Avril, for example, the girl I'm fighting. she's been boxing 5 years longer than me. Do you know what I mean? She's been boxing over 10 years, do you know? And O'Connell, you know, she was a pro for 13 years. Like, do you know what I mean? So all these people that I'm fighting and, you know, the people that are up world champions at the moment and all the other girls in the division, they've been, especially a lot of these British girls, they've been boxing since they were in teens or for years, do you know what I mean? So I think considering how long I've been boxing and obviously my age, I think I've done really well, and it makes me still be a bit of a baby, and I've still got a lot of room to move. It's, you know, like it's just about being able to show it in the fights, and I think that also just comes with obviously the experience and the you know, being able to really, like, I need patience. You know, that's one thing I've got to work on, and I think when I have a bit more patience in a fight, then I'll be able to be a bit more. I don't know, I just want to fucking smash them up, don't I? Like, fuck.
But that's in you, innit? I think we saw that. I think
But to be fair, it's kind of like I can sit there and, no, I don't know, like, just sit there and box and, like, yeah, it's all great to, like,
do you get bored doing that?
Yeah, I do get bored doing that, yeah. And you know what? And I think the crowd gets bored. There's a reason people want to tune in and watch me fight, because you know it's going to be a fucking barnstorm. Like, you know, it's going to be a fucking fight. Like, what fight have I been in that's not been a war? You know, and that's realistically, boxing's about entertainment, and that's what fans want to see. Sure, they want to see, you know, boxing the skills, of course, and I have that. But it's like, you know, the fights that everyone talks about are the other fights of the, you know, the wars and the people where you dig deep and you got heart. So, and as long as I'm entertaining, I'm happy.
I'm going to say, and I remember, like I said, the first time you came over when you had the fight with Shannon, people still talk about how, like, good that fight was, and even now, you know, obviously she's on her way back to establish herself again. Everyone would still still want to watch that fight.
Yeah, I think that was one of the very first rivalries in women's boxing, like, as in of recent years. It really did put a lot of women boxing on the map. Like, you know, it definitely, I think, was the start of kind of getting that big rise of women's boxing. Obviously we had Katie Taylor, but it was just Katie Taylor and Katie Taylor and opponents. You know, it was like Katie Taylor and opponents. No one really knew who she was fighting, and, you know, it was always like one-sided fights. It wasn't really, do you know what I mean? So I think with that fight, because it was, and we got so much attention on it because of the way it was promoted, or the way, you know, it was all that little bit of a grudge. It really kind of keeps in people's memories, you know, because it was one of the first. So yeah.
You still want to do all that extra stuff like that, the unifications in dispute. Because I remember when you were wanting to become world champion, I think it lasted about a week. I spoke to you after, you were like, and you were like, yeah, done that now. And I was like, what? You were like, is that just how you sort of set your mindset up? Is that just how you create that winning mindset by, look, yeah, I've achieved that, but we can look back on that in years to come, like, kind of thing?
It's good and bad, because it's like you're never satisfied. So it's like, and it's no disrespect at all to, like, world champions or anything like that, but it was kind of like, I got it and I was like, oh, is that, okay, I'm world champ now. It's like, okay, now what? Like, it's like a bit shit, and I feel like if I was to do unification, I'd be like, yay, okay, next. Do you know what I mean? But that's just how I am with anything when I'm achieving, and in a way, it's great.
It's a blessing and a curse.
It's great, yeah, it's great, because I'm always wanting to do more and wanting to be, but it's also, I'm never satisfied and never, you know what I mean? It's like never good enough, and that's a bit frustrating. I mean, if you talk to anyone that knows me and any of my coaches, they'll say how I'm always just like, you know, never good enough, and I'm always like, it's not enough and it's whatever. But that's unfortunately how I am, but I think it makes me better. And as for, so I still obviously want to do unifications and everything like that.
When you've eventually achieved what you've wanted out of and got what you wanted out of this sport, what will be more important to you? The fact you became world champion, or the fact that I think in a way you've opened a lot of doors, you brought a lot of eyes to the sport. Do you want sort of that to be the thing that they talk about, or do you rather it be, oh, she was a world champion kind of thing? Yeah,
no, definitely, like, more about me as a person and the support that I've given to women's boxing, and you know, the I don't know, the roads that I've paved in my own way to just show a different light on women's boxing and to bring all those eyes on the sport. I think definitely that kind of, like, legacy, but if we can add in the unifications, the undisputed obviously on top of that is great. Do you know what I mean? I don't box boxing is a business, and I knew that from the start. That's why I am where I am, because when I turned pro, I knew what I had to do to make it a business and to get a brand and to make money. Do you know what I mean? But I never really, I knew that when I started boxing that there was no money in women's boxing, so I never boxed for money. Do you know what I mean? My idea was always to create that brand so I could continue to make money. Do you know what I mean? And you know, like now I don't everyone knows I don't need to fucking box. I don't I don't make enough money like doing like not fuck all, but do you know what I mean? Like honestly I don't need to box for money.
You're doing it 'cause you love it.
I do it because I love it and because I have goals. Do you know what I mean? And that's what gets me in the gym every day. Where some people they get a world title and they're like, okay, that's, and then they get complacent or they get it's achieved and then they, you know, they got no motivation anymore. But it's not like that for me. All my motivation has nothing to do with, like, obviously wanting to be a champion, but it's not got to do nothing with anything outside. It's all for me wanting to be my best and be the best that I can be. And have a nice shrine of belts, obviously, but in my big mansion house with all my expensive cars.
Well, look, just to end this interview, something a little bit different. Obviously, what I've done together, I've compiled a lot of photos. Yeah. I've dug deep for some of them just because I thought it'd be interesting talking points. Now you're going to, parts of your life and things like that. So yeah, let's just say what's happening in one word, whatever comes to mind when you see the picture. Yeah? Right. So this is good now because you're on edge, right? I fucking know what clothes you got been on my OnlyFans. No. Right, first one. These will all come on screen when I edit it. Yeah. Describe that.
Ooh, that man! Wow. To be fair,
it's a hard watch. That when you watch
it's hard when you watch it. Yeah. That was my debut fight. First 10 seconds of the fight, I had a lazy kind of jab, and my opponent caught me, and I went down. I got clipped with a flash knockdown, went down and snapped my ankle. But the funny thing is not funny, but whatever, is I didn't actually know that I went down because it was like such a flash. Went down, snapped my ankle, got up, and the ref was counting, and I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't even get hit. I was literally saying, I didn't even get hit. Like, what are you counting me for? Because I didn't know that I was out and look around. And then I went to take a step and my ankle was fucked. And I was like, holy shit. And then I thought, oh my God, like, you know, but I've just got an 8 count. So I, you know, and I'm on pay-per-view TV in Australia, Tim Zoo undercard, like, you know, Paul Gallen, all these things. So I just kept going forward, obviously, and just like punching her. And then I went to the corner and I said to my coach, I was like, I think I just broke my ankle. And he's like, really? Okay, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I'm going to keep going. I want to bash her. Like, and he goes, all right. And he put your legs out, put my legs out. And then when the bell went to go out for the next round, it was almost like it went like that pain, like, because it was adrenaline and just like, and I just think, just keep punching. And I was like, you know, you see the fight, my foot's like dragging behind me, but just keep punching, you know.
I'm going to say, I mean, when I was searching through for this little part of this interview, I was thinking, what can I look at? And then I thought it was a picture, but it was the actual video that came up.
Oh, the video of my
and that was... It really is. It is a tough watch.
I had the surgery straight after it, obviously, and I was out for 8 months. I had big screws put through my ankle, so it wasn't like just I rolled my ankle. I literally snapped my ankle.
And you got through the fight and
won. Yeah, and I won. But I nearly stopped her actually in the second round, and it was funny because you hear the commentators and they're like, "Wow, you know, Ebanie, you can just tell she's such an athlete. She's so fit." And I'm thinking, I just didn't want to stop punching because as soon as I stop punching, I'll feel my ankle, you know. I needed help to be taken to the center ring to have my hand raised and everything, but yeah.
Right.
Great start to my pro career.
Yeah, absolutely. But got the win, showed the dog in you and got it. Right, another picture from a different pastime.
Oh, my bodybuilding. Yes, that was, I think that was the Australians IFBB, one of my last bodybuilding comps. And I won that in New South Wales, which is my state championship, which is pretty mega. It's huge. Obviously,
tough discipline, that, isn't it?
Bodybuilding is next level. Honestly, it makes boxing easy to honestly. Like, I think that's why I'm so disciplined with obviously my training and my diet because of bodybuilding. You know, doing 10 years of that, like, it's obsessive and you don't even understand. Like, when I hear fighters complain about diet, I just think you have no idea. Like, honestly, it's so different. Like, it's so different. And I used to do it with 4 months, no cheat meal, like, insane. And, like, honestly, like, I even just think about getting flashbacks now, like, it was so insane how obsessed. But I was also very obsessive. But you have to be obsessive to win. You know, I won a lot of titles. I won every title there was nearly in Australia. You know, I did international comps. Like, it was, you know, I was all in with it. And I obviously use my bodybuilding posing on the scales. Like, I still love it, you know, and I still bring that stage presence and that bodybuilding, because that's what I loved about bodybuilding, the stage. The dieting and the weight training, I freaking hated it, you know what I mean? But that little, you know, 10 minutes on stage, like, and it's so cool in a way that I can kind of bring it in a little bit with my body, with my weigh-ins at my fights, and I think that's something a bit different.
100%. Right, next one. Right, this is a split screen. So just describe what's happening in both.
Okay, so my biggest fear in the fucking world is fire. Just so you guys know, like, I'm so scared of fire. I can't cook on gas stoves. I can't be near a fucking bonfire. I can't anything to do with fire and burns. I can't do. I went on SAS, Celebrity SAS with Ant Middleton. You know what I mean? Who Dares Wins, whatever. And I'm like, I got no fear, anyways. I was like, really, like, I'm not really scared of nothing.
Yeah.
First day. That was the first day. It was like they went, let's see how we can try and, like, get Ebanie out or something. I don't know. And I said, you're fucking kidding me. Like, they're going to light us on fire on the first day. So yeah, they lit me on fire. Obviously I was panicking at first and I thought, nah, like, fuck, like, you just have to do it, mate. You just have to fucking do it. I got through that, and then that was kind of, I was like, well, now I've done that. Sweet. And that was the rest of the, obviously, stuck on for the rest. And then the crying picture. That was, I don't know what day, because you kind of lose count of days. But
is that the interrogation where they go, look, why are you here? What's your...
No, not really. It was, they were giving it to me because I was quite aggressive, as in with myself. Like, the first couple of days were very frustrating for me because it wasn't really physical. And I'm obviously physically good. I can put myself through pain. I can, I've got that mindset with physicality and pain. I'm good. But failing, I was not very good at. And there was all these things that they were making us do. Tasks where you had to use your brain and think and, like, whatever. And I just wasn't doing. I wasn't passing. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, and I was getting so angry at myself, and I was so frustrated, and they're pretty much saying to me, like, you don't like failure. It's not that I don't like failure. It's like, I want to be able to try again. And they're like, you're so hard on yourself. Why are you so hard on yourself? You've never done this stuff before. And I'm like, I don't know. And they were trying to break me down of why I am so hard on myself. And it's just like, I'm trying my best, and it's still not working. And in the real world, personally, it's not that I have a bad problem with failing. It's just that in the real world, if you fail, you can try again. Yeah. But on that show, once you fail, you're fucked. That's it. You're fucked. And it's like, now I can't prove myself that I can do it. And it was quite hard. But yeah, so anyways.
What did it do for you mentally, that show? Because they bring people on and they try and delve in. Now, I know when you've ever spoke about your past, you kind of leave it there. And I know the reasons why. You said, look, it brings back a lot of things, not just for you, your family and things like that. Yeah. But that type of show, obviously you did a James English podcast. It does touch on the edge of things. How sort of emotionally was it difficult? How like difficult was it for you? Because they're going to try and they want some out of you. They want to see that side of you. So was it tough to sort of be like, right, I've got a sort of half revisit here kind of thing, but not go full?
Not really, because I think the challenges that I was having not had to do too much. I don't think I had much to do with my parts, and I think I got a feeling, and I don't know this for sure. Like, all these people that are on that shows, they must have to allude to something of their past for them to really dig it up. Do you know what I mean? Like, when they get in a questionnaire or in the media, there's something that they know about, but they don't really know about my shit. It was just, that I suppose I could have tried to break down to why I'm so hard on myself. But I mean, actually, to be fair, like, I know in a way, and maybe it does have a little bit to do with my past, but yeah, I don't know. At the time and in the show, when I had those kind of like little breakdowns, and they said you gotta be more positive, you gotta believe in yourself a little bit more, otherwise you're gonna be stuck because it's holding you back. Being such a perfectionist, and not doing everything, it's gonna hold you back. And it's that same thing I have, like, asked to Dave Caldwell or asked Tibbs, same thing in boxing. They're like, man, stop being so fucking hard on yourself because it's gonna hold you back. Yeah. Because I just focus on, I'll get out of sparring, and Dave's like, he'll be like, right, nothing negative. I'm like, there's like 10 things that I already want to pick myself apart with. Do you know what I mean? And he's like, okay, let's get positives or whatever. You know what I mean? Because I always see everything that I've done wrong first. And I mean, I would like to say that the show helped me with that, but it didn't. Like, it helped me on the show, because I had to change my mindset to get through the rest of the show. But in real life, I'm still the same fucking high critique on myself.
Not the worst thing in the world. Look, there's a couple more I'm going to show you. This one.
I like to talk.
You and twin there.
Me and my twinnie. Wow.
It's tough been moving over here, Annick. You haven't got easy access to your family. I know you went back recently. You got a twin, mum and dad over there. Your dad, I think, incredible artist, if I'm right in saying that. Literally, like, some of these pictures are like, it's like they took photographs. It's ridiculous. Just talk to me a little bit about that, and obviously family, and it is different. People talk about sacrificing training, but you've said, look, that's what I do. That's the easy part. But you haven't got them just like next door kind of thing, have you? All right, sorry. Go on.
You're emotional.
Sorry, but yeah, importance of family and obviously trying to catch up with them as and when you can, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I could cry actually, but I'm not going to because it's going to take a little breath. Yeah, do you know?
You seen recently though? You went back,
Yeah,
didn't you?
I did. And you know, the funny thing is that when I first moved over here, I just had to do it. I'm very tunnel vision, and I felt like for me to be better and me to get further in my career, this is what I got to do. And so I didn't really let any emotion really. I just did fuck up. I'm just gonna go. And then obviously being here for nearly 18 months before I went back and saw him. And there's a few times where I'm like, I wish my family was here and or whatever. But it wasn't really until I went back recently that I was like, holy shit! Like I was able to actually take it in, because I went home I made the choice in 4 weeks to move. Went home. I had 4 weeks to tell my parents, my ex-boyfriend, 10 years, everyone, family, for everyone, that, hey, guess what? I'm going to move to the UK in 4 weeks or 5 weeks. Pack up my fucking life and fuck off. I didn't have time for emotions. I didn't have time to even see my friends and say goodbye. Didn't have time for nothing. Do you know what I mean? So I think when I went back this time, it was like, it really hit me. I was like, holy shit, like, wow, like I do miss them, and it's not saying I haven't missed them. Of course I do, but I just always push those emotions to the side, because that is going to stop. That's going to hold me back, emotions like that from what I'm trying to achieve. And it made me feel a little bit human, because sometimes I feel a little bit not human sometimes with that kind of how I am with my being able to switch off emotions. And I was like, wow, like, I really fucking miss my family, especially my twin, obviously.
Yeah.
That's why I went back in a way, because last year was my first year in 36 years. It was my 36th last year. 36 years that I hadn't spent my birthday with my twin, and that was hard. Christmas and all that, I was like, but not seeing my twin for my birthday. Like when you share a birthday with someone, like in this your twin, it's, I don't know if it's hard to explain, we can just imagine it. Then to like not have that was, I'm like, this year, and I thought with all the stuff that's going on with boxing and being fucked about with boxing again, I'm like, this is fucking 2022 all over again, just being fucked about, you know what I mean? I thought, I'm just going to go home and see my family, and that was really good, so I was like glad that I did that.
Look it up. Right, a couple more.
Oh, yeah.
You and your old
I love
mate?
this photo. No, I love this photo. There was some respect shown in that photo of Courtney and myself, and
It's a good moment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was important, that.
yeah, definitely. Like she, I think that fight I proved her, and I think a lot of people as well. And we both definitely got respect for each other after that fight. I was just happy with that. Like, I was happy with that fight. I was happy with my performance. I was just so grateful to be there and had that opportunity and being able to have such a big fight for women's boxing. It still gets talked about, one of the best women's boxing fights, in history or whatever like that. So, to be able to share that moment with her, it was good. And I mean, we got, it's like there is that grudge, but it's like, it's not like I have to relate it to the other Shannon that I just fought that other fucker with.
That was different, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was really personal in terms of comparisons.
It wasn't really. I wasn't personal towards her. She just got really fucking personal towards me. She was quite vindictive and just like talking absolute fucking shit. Do you know what I mean? And I think people always ask me like, "Oh, are you friends now?" I go, "No, fuck her. She's a fucking shit cunt." Like, what if you're honestly, if like just because I shared the ring with her, doesn't mean that that now I've got respect for her, and that goes for anyone. Yeah. I'm not like that. I'm not like, just because I share the ring doesn't mean take back that you're still a fucking shit cunt, and you're still a fucking horrible human, and you're still done all this kind of shit. You know what I mean? You don't just get respect now because you took a few punches. Like, no chance. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, there's definitely no respect there, and there's definitely not bad blood, but I have absolutely no time for her. Courtney, you know what I mean? I think I'd have time for her, and I do wish her well, and I hope that she does get a belt so we can fight and be for a belt. But there's still we're still different, aren't we?
Yeah, of course. Not everyone's the same, I suppose. That's what helps these rivalries. Look, a couple more. This one, probably one of the most important nights of your career.
Oh, cute! Look at my face. That's me. I'm not a very emotional person, so I'm like, I don't cry.
You were that night. A little bit.
Yeah, I didn't cry about it, but I was like, oh no, I don't know, I'm just not great. Like, if I cry, it's pretty mega. But yeah, wow, that was fucking epic. And not just that, I loved that fight. Like the Courtney fight, they're my kind of fights. Like, I loved that fight. It was so fun. I thought the Courtney fight was fun. Yeah, that fight was fun for me. I thought it's my best performance for me, you know. It was great, and obviously, you know, achieving that goal that I made out a long time before. You know, I remember being in the amateur gym and the boys coming up to me and being like, "You train so hard, Eb, like, you know, like, you're just a machine." And I'm like, "That's what world champs do." That was an amateur, you know what I mean? Like, I train like a champ because I want to be a champ, you know, and to be able to tick that box off and, yeah, prove people, I think it was, you know, it was really good for me, and, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say, like, 2 more.
I love this photo. Look at those men. No one wants to look. Eddie Hearn's like, "Don't look."
He did his best, didn't he?
He did his best.
Just picking this back up with Ebanie Bridges, we were going through some photos. We just finished on the Eddie Hearn one, the famous weighing picture. Another one, a more recent one, can see there, Forged Irish Stout, so I think it's probably it's appropriate now to mention it.
Yeah. Oh, look at us. Yeah, look, you know, this is actually a really great photo because, I don't know, like, you know, we have become really good friends and really close, and I really enjoy working with him and the team. And, like, they're mega supportive of me, and not just me, but boxing. You know, you see that they're sponsoring a lot of the guys in, like, so many...
A lot of events now.
So many events, but not just the events, the other boxers as well, you know. I know everyone talks about me, and, you know, I've seen some comments online, "Oh, you need to have big tits and fucking whatever to, you know, to get sponsored," but they're actually sponsoring so many boxers, and that's him giving back to boxing as well. You know, he could put his money anywhere, but it's nice, you know what I mean, to do that and support the, you know, up and coming fighters or just fighters, because, you know, sponsorship is a huge part of the game. But yeah, no, it's great. You know, he's really supportive, you know, and I'm so blessed to have him part of the team and the whole Forged Army.
Are you inspired by Conor on his journey and what he's done? Because you, obviously, I know how much you appreciate. I mean, you've got a legend on your hat right now in Arturo Gatti. You're not someone who's just bounced into boxing, you like it. You really know boxing kind of thing. I remember the first conversation we had, you were referencing dates, fights, and I'm like, I need to be on point here, because if not, I will get taken apart, that kind of thing. But yeah, you admire Conor a lot, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I was only just saying yesterday in the gym, you know, he's so smart for what he's done, like, to be able to... That's the thing about boxing, like, you have a good career, you can be a champion, you can make your money in your sport, and then you retire, and then what? Like, you're a name, or you're making money, or, you know, some people boxers, like, you see some boxers, like British champs or world, you know, or world champs, but going back and having to work normal jobs and stuff like that, do you know what I mean? And I think, like, you know, I want more than that, and it's just, I think what he's done and how he's doing it is something to be inspiring about, and also just the whole, like, not giving a fuck what people say and think, and looking out for yourself and your family and that, because in the end, you know, everyone that's up the top has a lot of haters, a lot of love and support, but at the same time, you know, a lot of hate. You see it online. Like, I was really shocked at how much I got just from being connected to Conor, and I just thought, he don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Is that your Irish?
Yeah, no, I can't. I just like, fuck. No, he doesn't, you know, because why should you care what people think? Because you're successful and you're doing what you're doing, and, you know, and as long as you feel good within yourself. So, yeah, I think that's, you know, whenever I think about if anyone gives me shit, I just look at these guys like Conor or like other, you know, very successful people, and just think, like, wow. Like,
I was going to say, when you look at everyone in boxing, I mean, everyone, as soon as you make it to the top, I mean, Canelo, for example, I'm sure you know his resume like I do, one of the most impressive resumes in the past 20, 30 years in boxing, and they're saying he's ducking Benavidez, and it's like, you're always going to be ducking someone, because there's always someone else coming through, so it's like, I feel like you're almost never going to win, but... Right, last one. So I'll show you the picture, I'll read you the quote that's under it. I think it's a quote that you made. Right. So the quote says, "I'm off to school today. If you know me or talk to me for a minute about teaching, my passion for it is undeniable. Blessed to be able to have 2 careers I absolutely love and have pure passion for." Now, I haven't spoken to you about teaching for a while, but I knew that was something that, even though when you were doing your boxing, that was like, oh my God, like, yeah, I love it. I love being able to have an impact on these kids' lives, and obviously a maths teacher, but is there any part of you that misses that side of things, being able to bounce to, like, a school and, you know, do a class and, you know, have that interaction? Yeah,
definitely. I think, I wouldn't say, like, I would say, I don't know if it's on par, I would say that teaching is probably my biggest passion. So, you know, I miss teaching a lot, and I miss being in those classrooms, and And I think the things that comes with being a teacher, if you're a good teacher, you know, it's, for me personally, my goal as a teacher was to impressionate, I don't know how to say that word, impression.
I know what you said, have a big, like, effect.
Yeah, like on the kids, to get them to believe in themselves and believe that, you know, that they can achieve things and that they can be successful. And I use maths to do that mindset, to build that mindset that I have, that I want to push on other people, that if you just try and you just believe in yourself, if you take that wall down and you actually believe that you can do it, then you're already one step closer to achieving it. And then if you put the work in, then you're going to get it. And that's like with math, because everyone has that wall. Oh, I can't do maths, or I'm just not good at maths, or that's not my part of the brain. These are all barriers that's telling you that you can't do it. But if you break down those walls that stop you from thinking that you can't, you know, and those negative thoughts, then you actually can. You open the door up to being able to do it, and that's not just with math, but obviously with anything in life. And that's why I'm able to achieve everything that I put my mind to, because I take those barriers down and believe in myself. And I think I wanted to do that in the classrooms to set those kids up for the future. Mm-hmm. But now, I mean, I'm trying to do it now. I'm blessed that I've got such a big platform that I'm hopefully able to inspire not just, you know, 100 kids in my classes, you know, in my whatever classes, you know, 30 kids per class, you know, but now like the world or globally, you know, to be able to inspire other people. And I think that's always what life's been about for me, is I've gotten through hell, went through trenches, and, you know, had to learn to believe in myself and not give up on myself again. And then now I want to pass that on to as many people as I can, anyone in my friend group or anything, do you know, that. So I'm always trying to teach people as much as I can that mindset.
Brilliant. Well, I think that's the sort of the perfect note to end on. We will end with this. So have you got a message for everyone who's supported you, behind you? Like you said, ex-pupils, fans, people who've been supporting you from day dot.
Yeah, I was just going to say, actually, I've just got one of my ex-pupils a couple of weeks ago. Bless her. She sent me pictures of her graduation. She goes, "Look, miss, I did it. I graduated." And it was such a beautiful thing. She goes, "You know, thanks for always supporting me and always believing in me." And it was so good to see her graduate and for her to share those pictures with me. And I got a lot of students that like message me and say, "Miss, you know, so proud of you," or "We love watching you," and we always boast about that. That's our teacher and stuff. And you know, I love that. So big shout out to all my ex-students, and you know, love them all, and I'm so proud of all of them. And also obviously all my fans. You know, I wouldn't be here without the fans. Simple. You know, they're the ones that promote me. You know what I mean? I mean, Matchroom's my promoter, but who promotes me? The fans. Me and the fans. Do you know what I mean? They're the ones speaking my name. They're the ones that pushed me all through COVID and after, and continue to talk about me. And my haters, love you guys too, you know, because they push my name as well. But yeah, like, you know, I can't wait to get out there December 9 in San Francisco and put on another show and like entertain and you know, hopefully make another big statement.
Look, it's always a pleasure catching up. It's the first one for a while, like a proper sit down. I'm looking forward to seeing you get back and doing your thing and having another exciting fight on what is going to be a terrific card out there in San Fran. So, Ebanie Bridges, thanks for talking to Boxing Social. We'll let you get off training now and enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, thanks so much.